This is the air conditioning setup on the car. If you look right down in there, which I don't know if we can see it or not, there is that's one of the connections for the air conditioning, and there's the other one. This one right here is the low side up here by the firewall. It's right there. That's going to be the low side because it's on, if you'll see those two there, this is your expansion valve. And the high pressure refrigerant comes through this hose here, and it relieves that causes a narrow opening, and then it goes into a low pressure inside the evaporator in there. And I always get the evaporator and condenser confused because the evaporator is actually where water condenses on, but that's where the refrigerant evaporates and makes it cold. It takes all the heat out of the air with it boiling, and then it comes back through here. This is your low side, and that'll go right into your air compressor here. Actually, it goes into that's your fuel cooler there. There's two fuel lines that come out of it, and then it goes into the compressor. And then out of the compressor comes your high side here, and then that'll go up to your condenser, that's where the refrigerant condenses with the air blowing across it, and that condenses it down and turns it into a liquid again, and it goes back through that valve and opens it up again. But this one is your high side down here, and this one is your low side port. That's where you connect your gauges to, and you have to put the adapters on them. And when you put the adapters on, the ones that I had didn't work right. I don't know if it's because they use different fittings than they do in America, but I had to put a low side fitting on my high side on the car, so I had to switch the hoses around on my gauges. And it's a little confusing, but as long as you make sure that you have your high side on the red gauge, it doesn't really matter what color the hose is or what fittings you use. And this one is on your blue gauge, then you'll be fine. And you always want to fill on the low side. Never open the valve for the high side when you're trying to fill it, because you'll put all the high side pressure into your can and blow it up, and you don't want that to happen. But I hope that explains the air conditioning and the setup of it. I don't know exactly what pressures I ran it at. I just ran it till it felt pretty cool and it was running good, and that's how I charged it up. But I've been running it like that now for almost 2 years, and I've got ice cold air even on the hottest summer days.